All right, I think we're live, gang. So fix this mic. Angie, you might just have it in your face.
Babe, come on.
I was gonna make a joke that was not ready for.
Oh!
And we're live.
I was thinking that all the inappropriate
Of course you
comments
will.
might add for. I can go up or down with my chair.
So did you guys find it and share it?
I got it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now,
I'm still
okay.
refreshing.
this has got to be a compelling video.
Welcome, Facebook. You're
This is what we
regretting
do
this
every
already.
time, all right?
The first 2 minutes are incredible while we're all staring at our phones.
Gonna
I'm
tag,
the only one who's engaged with you.
gonna talk FOX46, tag FOX46.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
sharing.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
I think
Heyo.
I did it.
Okay, I'm good.
Should I share from my personal page?
Oh.
But I just hit share right now, right?
Yeah, that's actually a
That's what I
sneaky
do.
little trick. All right, you guys ready to rock?
Now I have to figure out how to
Did
do
you share?
that, though.
Oh dear. So I'll just dance for Facebook while you guys.
Yeah. Hold on.
It won't be the first
So
or
Facebook-
last time.
This is where you learn just how
Okay.
little your favorite morning tag team knows about Facebook.
I'm
I'm
there.
good. I'm
there.
totally there.
Share.
I'm good.
Share.
I'm gonna zoom out
Say
this
something.
frame because Paige is, I mean, lounging back there.
Oh.
Now zoom out so we get a little more of that tricep.
I think I just did it. Toward my spouse as well.
Better tricep and, all right.
A white tribe. Big
All right.
white tribe. Ready?
I'm seeing all kinds of alerts that say that the stream is choppy, the internet's low. So
Really?
yeah, so we'll just have to fight through and apologize in advance if this is choppy. But hey guys, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
What's up?
Why does that always happen? It always happens. We say hi and welcome, and one person freezes. And you know what's funny? The last person to do that?
What?
Last name also Harper.
Oh, of
Stop it.
course.
Roman Harper.
Oh,
It's
What's
an
his-
amazing-
yeah,
Oh,
it was like,
nice.
we're like, hey guys, welcome to the podcast. He goes,
It's okay. Jason and I used to at the beginning of every interview, you go, thanks for being here. And the person goes, I thought you were going to ask me a question.
What do I say?
No, but when you get there, you think that it's going to be kind of loud. It's like a library.
It's very quiet.
It's very
and
quiet.
it feels like the spotlight is on. I know.
Yes,
I get it. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of
very quiet.
intimidating.
So
Yeah,
why
just
don't you
saying.
tell everybody who's here? I mean, this is like, that's a lot of time together in
That's
one
right.
day, yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
know. So Jason and I have already spent 7.5 hours next to each other at a desk.
I'm really sorry about that.
Drinking not anything as fun as what we're drinking now.
Oh, man.
So that's the fun part. Yeah, this is the first work related podcast we've done, I think, right? We had family last time, so we already crossed that line.
Which sort of work for you?
I've had a few,
Oh, right.
yeah, I've had a few movement people on.
We have had a few
Montel,
movement
we had Casey.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it only took us 22 episodes to
To
get
get
to
Fox
you guys.
46.
You should feel super excited about
Yeah, I do. It's okay. I like being down the list. It's cool.
Listen, we wanted to warm up before we had you guys.
it. Speaking of warm up,
It's
oh boy,
real hot in here.
it's really hot in here. But no, we're excited to have you guys on the show, and we talk about guests who we're gonna have on, and Paige mentioned this one, and we were like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
It's like duh.
Yeah, like duh. Every single day, you guys are hosting the morning show. Good Day Charlotte, FOX46, nailed it. Probably the first time I've ever nailed it.
I didn't think you knew the name.
Nicely
of that.
done.
No, I
I
know.
That's
don't
right.
know, like the call letters now. I'm like,
What
ooh,
are they?
WJCY.
Oh, that's
Oh.
that's the question we should have done. Is
Yeah.
whose
Yeah.
spouse knows more about our show?
Right, and
She
so
would definitely lose.
here we are. I would definitely lose. I'm sorry, you lose to Johnny Test and
Uh-huh.
other cartoon
Thomas
heroes
the Train used to take me down for years. I know.
every
You don't know
morning.
who Johnny Quest is?
No, Johnny Test.
Oh, okay.
Point being, our kids don't want me on TV. They
Yeah,
want
yeah.
cartoons.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, so now this is much more relaxed. No suits, no socks,
God.
no choose which dress you want me to wear.
Oh gosh.
Number
Which
one.
Really let people into
I
your closet there.
I know.
That did well on
Listen.
social media.
Yeah, it really did.
I don't know if I have that access on a Wednesday night.
Wow.
Can I tell you the pressure for me, because I can't get fully dressed until your wife gets to work.
Do you know that?
Yes.
No,
He has a locker of ties.
no.
I have every tie color of the rainbow, and I don't get dressed until she shows up to work, until I see what she's wearing, and then I finish getting dressed.
And I try to throw him off, and he's got me.
Okay, so we do that as a couple already.
Yeah.
And so when he took that job, I remember thinking there was a couple days he didn't match, and then all the ties went to work like that. Like he was like, ugh. I started noticing it as well.
Well, there you go.
Now you guys
So
look
it's gotta be careful so
fabulous.
it's not like cheesy, like too
Yeah.
like
No.
like prom or whatever.
Yeah,
but
no.
It still works.
You notice that we both have on black and gray tonight, right?
That was not
Oh,
on purpose.
wow.
That
We were already off the rails. Yeah. we're back.
we
there will be no focus.
no, you guys have actually you do have. We always try to start with kind of the origins. You guys are both married to each other as second marriages. You have a blended family, but you've known each other. You were each other's first actual relationship, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so take us back.
Oh, wow. I'm sure there are two different
Okay, we'll let
versions.
Jason tell
this
the story,
story.
and then I'll tell
And
the
you'll
story.
correct it.
Because
That's how
I'm
it is.
pretty sure it's a little different.
Yes.
Okay? Proceed.
So for this, I need a little.
Oh,
Okay.
you haven't cracked that yet?
Never a
No.
good sign.
Really?
No, he hasn't cracked it yet because they're like.
A little bit of both so that you can
Yeah.
keep even.
Red Bull.
Trust
what
me,
we got? We
that
got
sounds very
True
healthy.
Grit from Noda. We got more IPA from Southern Pines Brewing. We've got Macro Brewed. Never mind.
Is this Southern Pines? Is this from your neck of the woods?
It is. That's where I'm
Is it?
from. And then
Very
Voodoo.
cool.
Oh, was I not supposed to say that?
No, not at
I'm
all.
sorry.
Drink local.
Yeah.
Hashtag drink local.
There you go. Can you edit that out?
She
well done.
locally bought it at the teeter.
I'm actually drinking Sycamore. I'll just fix it in post. I'll fix it in post.
Oh, gosh.
Oh my god,
Okay.
we're never gonna get through this.
Oh, my God. I'm already sweating.
Please take a while so that I can just continue to eat the watermelon sour
Delicious,
patch cake
right?
that your wife
Yeah,
brought.
will you pass me a few of those while I start this
Yeah.
story?
No, those
Okay.
are Jake's.
It's
So your
crazy.
wife keeps
Wait a
right
second,
there.
there's two bags. There's a Fehling bag and a Harper bag, and both Fehlings have both bags.
Welcome to eating with
Yeah.
your family.
That's a whole new podcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's next time.
Well,
so let's go. Where
are you saying snail or snell?
it's Snell,
Snell.
S-N-E-L-L,
Snell.
Snellville.
Home of the snails.
Oh.
No, do you remember the slogan of our city?
Where
Snellville,
everybody's
everybody's
somebody in
somebody.
Snellville.
Snellville.
Shut up.
Okay, anyway.
Don't, it got
Desperate.
graffitied one time though.
Okay.
Senior year.
That's
Anyway,
desperate.
So,
said something not so appropriate.
Okay.
Anyway.
so here we go, right? So let's go to 7th grade middle school.
Mhm.
Picture how cool one might be in the middle school band. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so the beginning of 7th grade middle school band.
I was cool.
Yeah.
So we're clear.
Okay. No, thank you.
Angie was first chair trumpet in the middle school band at Snellville Middle School.
Which
Well-
is basically like saying this is Jordan in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's peak Snellville.
Okay. First chair.
No.
Representing.
Not
okay.
everybody is first chair.
Not first chair
Saying.
triangle, first chair
Trumpet. Okay.
All right, so, and then all of a sudden this tall, skinny, lanky kid comes in. He's brand new to Snellville Middle School in 7th grade. And this is a tough one because I hate, okay, I took her first chair. So I became.
Oh, I did not
No,
see
Yeah.
just
that
back up.
happening.
No, I get to tell the story first. And then you
No,
correct me.
Angie. We sent you the 12-page podcast rules document before you got here.
I saw no rules, but
You let him go
Before.
first. That's interesting.
All right, so
I love
Did you
this.
have like a duel off? Like how does that
okay,
happen?
that's the part of the story is going to
Okay.
interject. I'm not denying that I totally, went down.
but it's not like you went to 10th. You were right next to me, second chair, first and second chair.
Anywho,
Yeah,
okay,
you know,
so
classic duel off.
right, it was a duel off. So here he comes,
Or just a
and our
duel.
little band teacher is like, well, we have to, you have a little competition. I don't even know what it's called. Well, I don't even know what that's
A
called.
duel.
duel off.
Competition.
But that's
Stop saying duel off.
It's redundant.
It's
I know,
either
I
a
get it.
showdown, show.
We'll call it
Off.
a showdown, okay? But
Yeah.
it's not called that in middle school band. But at any rate,
It was a show duel off.
yeah, Mr. Harper, who clearly had a few more years of trumpet experience.
Magical lips.
Yes,
Oh.
and
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Master player.
Yeah.
completely annihilated me, and I got bumped, and I'd never been bumped. So it was challenged. You're challenged
Oh.
to the
Yeah.
chair. So I've been
Ooh.
challenged often, but never defeated.
How does that work in band? Because I was never in band.
You missed out.
I chose to not do band. I was always like a home ec or choir or something way worse. But how did that? Did you just come up and like slam the trumpet down and say like, I
because he was
threw
new
off
kid.
you?
No, he was new kid, so he had to. It was by
Do you
default.
play
He
in
had to
front of everybody?
If he never made
Yeah.
eye contact with me, he wouldn't have challenged me. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's legit.
you play scales.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was like,
Yeah.
here's the sheet music, sight read it, play it, that kind of thing. And so there, obviously, everyone was impressed. And
That seems.
so,
Yes, our band teacher, you know, with the pants, she was very impressed.
okay, so anyway, so here's this whole year. There's this whole year of now I'm first chair, she's second chair. And that was the beginning of a budding romance, right? And so that's how I see it anyway. Fast forward till later in the school year when I built up just enough courage to ask her out. So 7th grade, we go on this field trip to Rock Eagle.
It was an overnighter.
It was an overnighter field trip.
Big deal in the 7th grade.
And so one morning outside the cafeteria, I got up the nerve in my members only jacket, and I was like, I told all the girls, have Angie meet me outside by the flagpole.
Right.
And I'm going to stop with the story there because
No, you're
What
doing a
happened
great
to-
job.
What
No, it's not
happened
my
at the
turn.
flagpole?
what happened at the flagpole, baby?
What happened at the flagpole? Okay, let's back up just
Yeah, what
like
happened at the
two
flagpole?
In
steps.
front of everyone.
I'm in the Rock Eagle Camp cafeteria.
So good.
What the heck happened at the dang flagpole?
Why would you stop a story at the flagpole?
I know.
And that's all for this episode.
No.
There was a flagpole and for the old school. Got down.
Well, you know how, like, okay,
What?
so my little friends are like, Jason Harper wants to talk to you outside, and I'm like, all right, whatever, you know.
Did you have a crush on him?
And we were
Sure.
friends.
Yeah.
But at this point, I was probably just counting down the ways to like beat
Take-
him
take
back.
me out,
and
take me
him
out.
like that
Yeah.
type of.
She's got that in her DNA.
Anyway. And I'm like, what? What do you want? He's like,
I had been rehearsing this. I had been rehearsing
and
this.
like everybody's pressed at the glass, you know, because
Yeah.
it was glass, and
Yeah.
so the whole room was glass, and you could see the
I
whole
have
like
such
lunchroom.
7th grade angst.
Listen, my
Yes.
hands. No chaperone.
Only two.
It was like 10 in the morning,
I know,
Jason.
that's true.
Okay, 10 in the morning, school hours.
Was this to like ask her? What?
Yeah.
Okay, to ask
Oh,
her
This
about.
God.
was it.
now
This
we're
was
here.
it. Not to plan a kiss or anything.
I thought we
Yeah,
were.
that
It was. It
Oh,
was.
yeah.
It was the words of, "Will you go
Will
with
you
me?"
go with me?
Oh, sure. Go with me. Go where? My
And then you
parents
say,
were-
See,
no,
that's the
where did
thing.
it go? Where did
What
it
does that
go?
even mean?
I know.
Honestly, that right there was the extent of our
Of
relationship.
course. Yeah, and
We
then you,
held hands.
and then you
That's
stopped
true.
talking to her. Like, oh, you did?
We did, and the reason later that we broke up was because I wasn't as advanced in relationships as I was with the trumpet.
Ah.
I was much more advanced. I was first chair when I'd been in Christian
You've
school
been in a
for
Christian
about,
school his whole
for
life.
about 3 or 4
Really? I
years.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so what? You had to like.
Well, there was
learn
just
how to-
there. Yeah, there was a lot of eye-opening things in public school. A lot of conversations, a lot of words I had not heard, a lot of hand gestures, a lot of. Educated quickly.
If
in
someone
7th grade.
told you, like, rewind to the beginning of this podcast and told you that this was a sex ed podcast,
The day we graduated high school, I mean, we ended up dating
Yeah.
other people, and that was it. We were in the same circle of friends for years up till the day we graduated.
Like hung out, remember each other from
Yeah,
that time?
Yeah.
I didn't finish band, so like in 7th grade, about halfway through, I guess, or maybe the end of the year.
She became, and still is, an amazing athlete. She broke all kind of records when it came to track and field and in softball in our county and in the state. And I like to think that had I not pushed her out of first chair, she would have maintained and been a struggling musician all this time.
Yeah,
But
I should thank you.
I helped her
properly.
recognize that
That's
she needed to move into a different field,
Yes.
which was athletics, and she excelled there. I felt like I sort of excelled in music. She excelled.
You know what?
And
All
you're
that I
welcome.
am is because of you.
Yeah, and so-
I realized that right this second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Glad we
Finally.
could provide this
Finally,
platform.
come around.
Well, Jake and
Good
Paige
God.
is
We were each
Yes.
other's first boyfriend.
No, that's
I'll go
pretty
back
cool.
to seventh
Yeah,
grade.
it
That's
was
pretty cool.
It was.
Because then we'll skip past. We'll just say you got married to other people.
Yes.
You
Yep.
each had 2 kids. Your youngest is each named Avery, which I think is the coolest, most fun coincidence
I mean,
in the world.
what in the world?
And the girls are, to take us down, the girls are how old now?
16, 13, 12, and 9.
16, 13, 12, and 9. Okay.
Mhm.
So, jump in. I don't want to ask all the questions.
Wow,
I know all the stuff.
no, I
Come on,
wasn't.
champ, get in the game.
That was a Molotov cocktail throwing. Why would you do that right in the middle of the question?
And go.
No, so you know what? If she's not gonna ask it, I'll ask it. All right. So you guys are.
What did I
I'm
not
gonna
ask?
back it up a little bit. You skipped over like 40.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
No, it was not at all. No, it was you were spiraling into the galaxy.
No,
That's what I was going to ask.
I knew
How
what
much-
you were going to say.
Yeah, right.
How much time went by, babe?
25 years.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait, we graduated, we
20,
graduated in
20.
94.
It was our 20th anniversary.
It was, yeah, okay, so.
Why did you?
Jake?
Good job, Jake. Why did you ask that question?
I'll go back to my lair.
You pursued music in college. I pursued sports. Those are not the same colleges typically, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you weren't dating in high school anyway, right? You were friends.
No, we were just friends,
Right.
yeah. But it's funny because the minute we got back together, and we'll get to that part of Jake's actual question, all of a sudden, Kathy Harper has like just tons of pictures. I don't know where she
That's my
pulls them
mom.
out of.
Oh,
Of us in high school, like just,
Mrs.
you know,
Harper will come through with an old
she
tip for you.
will.
I
She's
mean, we'll talk
amazing.
about something in the 4:30 show, and by 7, it has hit the inbox of Big Charlotte, and like it's like, oh, picture from there. Here's Jason when he's 5 of the cowboy hat we just talked about half an
It's
hour
like a
ago.
producer's dream.
Yeah.
Kathy Harper needs to like me on Facebook. I want to connect with her. She's
Yeah, she's
awesome.
awesome. She's
Yeah.
awesome.
She
Oh,
is.
there-
So wait, so Kathy started what?
So, well, to answer the
serving up,
question,
okay.
no, it wasn't Kathy that brought us back together, but that would actually
That-
kind of be a really good story too.
Mm-hmm.
We had a high school reunion,
Oh.
20-year, and so somebody posted that on Facebook, like, and it started a chat room. 'Cause we graduated with like almost 400 to 500 people,
Yeah.
so it just reconnected people again. Jason actually did not go to that reunion. I did go to it, and then it seems like
Did you know if he was there at all? Was he on your radar at all at that point?
Ooh, good
yeah,
question.
because I mean, of course, there was definitely a group of friends I hadn't seen in a very long
And you're like,
time
"Oh, I'd
that I
love to
hadn't
see."
talked to in a
Got it.
very long time as well. So
Kathy was there instead. Or what?
Kathy was actually my date.
You ran into Kathy, and Kathy's like, I don't know why I'm here.
My mom-
Name, by the way.
She's my
I know you're
she's
gonna
my
say that.
fill-in for
Yeah.
events that I
Kathy's
can't
like
go to.
Jason's manager.
She
Okay,
said, I
I'm
would send her
excited.
out. Send her out on a mission.
So no, but that group, like, it just really started a conversation with a magnitude of people that we got. I mean, even to this day, that chat. Like
20
a
years,
family
yeah.
reunion
Yeah,
more than
that's
it was. So we had a really good graduating
And
class.
were they in? Where was it? Remind.
And it really just started with a chat. And then later, you know, I go through my divorce, Jason goes through his divorce, and at some point, Jason starts flirting with me on the Facebook, okay?
Don't say nothing.
On the Facebook, okay?
The original.
On the Facebook,
Right.
not the IG, that's why I can call it the Facebook.
Oh,
You
oh.
can't, because you just have to call it that,
Oh.
at any rate. But yeah, Jason starts flirting with me on Facebook, and I'm like,
What was my original flirt? Do you remember?
I do
Okay,
remember.
please tell me that's what. Because I remember the first text you ever sent me too.
That I had the bluest eyes, that I still have the bluest eyes you'd ever seen.
Uh-oh.
You do have super blue
She
eyes.
posted a picture with the girls, with
Yeah.
Shelby and Avery, her 2 girls, and it's a picture. And I remember looking at it going, man, they're blue like I remember from high school. And that's what I put. And then what did I?
Thank you.
She's flashing
You're
them right
welcome.
now.
She is.
Everyone in
Yes,
podcast
flashing
world,
big
can you
time.
see how pretty they are? Just imagine blue, and that's what they are.
Amazing. Imagine the bluest
Okay,
thing you've
but
ever
this is
seen.
where it gets
Her
the
eyes.
best, okay?
Wait, no. Tell us what exactly. Was it like one of those? Because I feel like if a dude says that, like, it's
Okay, but Jason
Either
said it. So then he
creepy or
retracted
it's-
20 different
Oh,
other
of course he did.
additional Facebook things. So it was like,
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's super. Like they were coming in like.
Oh, you're like swingers.
Yes.
Shut up.
Call
Yes,
back.
yes.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Oh my god, man. Like, it was
like a creeper.
like 20. Yes, it was like a
Yeah, I
creeper.
totally did.
Okay.
Oh, no.
And anyway, so then the rest is history after that. But
Will
yeah.
you like hold on for a second so I can reply?
Okay,
It's
but
okay,
see, I
thank
think
you.
that I hadn't even probably seen the comment
Right.
before he was
Oh,
already
so you got them all at
retracting the
once.
state. Yeah, because
Oh,
I'm like,
dear.
I mean, if I'm doing something, I'm not watching
Right.
my Facebook like
Yeah.
some people that I might know.
How
Wait,
long?
why did you look at me? Do I?
Because
Have
she
you told
knows.
her?
Yes. She just knows.
I
Let's go
love
look at Paige.
Facebook.
She just knows. Because I probably complained to Jason that you were on your phone last night and Jason goes home and goes, Paige says Jake does it too.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So now Angie has added you both
No,
on
that-
the podcast.
There are so many similarities between our two families.
No.
Be in the moment, Jake.
Yeah.
I am in the moment. But first, did Ian Desmond get a hit for the Rockies tonight?
Do you remember the first text you sent me? It wasn't on social media, but I still
At
remember.
that point, it was an SMS.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even know what that means.
It's like an instant message, right?
No, it's a text, but they call it SMS.
It was on my. I do remember
I
it was on my
text, yeah.
phone because I remember I had you saved obviously as Jake, and I remember it came up and I was like, ooh, from Jake. I was like, oh, that's such a hot name, like such a manly name, right? I know, and it came out and I was
And
like,
then
oh,
I
it's
took
from
a,
Jake,
and then I sent a
it said,
picture of a selfie like.
no,
No, it's
it said,
Jake.
it said you, period, me, period, salsa. See you Wednesday.
What? What
And I
was
was
this
like,
dance or like
Salsa,
food?
period,
Yeah.
ripped, period. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
when
was
we went to
fully
a
went.
salsa lesson for like our second date.
We
and
did,
I
and I
was
got
like,
so angry, and that's when you learn that I get like irrationally competitive angry at things that typically you need to learn to get better at, but I expect to roll out of bed and be good at them.
because I laughed at Jake the whole time that we salsa, and he got mad.
I said, wait till you see me at a wedding, okay?
Oh!
Unstructured dance, the champ.
Way better.
Oh, you and Jason are much more similar now than I realized. Don't even get me started on VR gaming.
Uh-oh.
Jason's not very good at it, but I can,
Oh,
I
God.
am good at
I
it.
throw up.
okay?
I
Yeah.
throw up if
Yeah.
you're gaming.
He was really still upset about it when he got to work on that Monday. By the way.
I know.
All right,
I know.
okay.
Anyway,
All right,
see?
let's get back. Pull it
Okay,
back.
sorry. Bring it back. Okay, so you're back together. So how long did you guys like go back and forth on Facebook before you kind of were like, let's meet up and let's kind of like see if there's anything here? Because you guys both like sort of only dated each other, right? It's not like you weren't really out there much before.
Yeah, I didn't spend any time being single
Mhm.
after I was divorced.
I didn't
And
either.
no. Matter of fact, the thought of that is actually scary. And so
Yeah.
for anyone that's gone through a divorce, especially if you're maybe a little older and you have kids, you're thinking, how in the world am I ever going to meet
Yeah.
someone, one, that there's some connection, you know, and then that they're going to love my kids the way I
Mhm.
love them, and one's kids, and you just think, I'm just going to be by myself.
And you guys were
Forever.
both able to kind of skip past that.
Well, when there's 12 hours of distance between you,
Yeah.
you know, you're forced into a part of a relationship that I think oftentimes people forget about. Like they're caught up in the moment of the chemistry or the
Mhm.
physical part of it. And so we didn't have any of that. So we really just became really good friends. I mean, he really was my best friend. And so if something was difficult or transpiring from past, I could say, guess what happened to me today? And he's like, oh, I totally know what you mean. So he was just honestly like my friend. And I'd never had a friend like really like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just coincidence. Eventually, the job I was in at the time, my market expanded, and it ironically covered one store in Arkansas. And so I was traveling eventually, sort of out that direction, and
Yeah.
Jason was also traveling for his job. So
Jason's
literally,
close enough. Yes, I'll be
yeah,
there.
10 hours right
but-
around the corner.
we never really got together in Arkansas. Like I'd be in Nashville, and he's like, I'm going to be in Nashville, and so then we would just hang out.
Yeah.
And realistically, that's all we did for a very long time was just hang out because you know
Just
things
hang.
are messy after
Mhm.
divorce, and you got to make sure that you are really clear, you know, and settled. So the distance was extremely healthy for us.
Yeah.
It allowed us to probably do things in a way that we didn't do in the past. Clearly.
But the first time we saw each other, it was because again I wasn't at that reunion, so it had been 20 years since I had seen her, and it was like we didn't miss a beat.
Really.
It was so comfortable, and yeah, that was wonderful. I
was-
see you over there
I see
smiling.
you
Come on now.
smiling. Did you guys? Do you look?
Another
So
connection.
excited. I love you.
Another connection made on a big night.
I know. Look at that. They were
Thanks,
fighting all the way
you
here,
guys.
but now it's lovely.
Oh my god.
Oh God, but yeah.
So you've been married how many years? Now?
Coming up on 2.
Coming up on
Yeah.
2. That's right. 'cause
Yeah.
you were newly- So you've been at Good Day for a year and a half,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So basically, we've both had them about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
I know. So you moved.
You got it. This is the only one of these.
Well, just something from the.
Sycamore.
How you guys?
It's actually sycamore.
How are you guys doing? Then?
I'm glad Jake is
Yeah.
participating now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, we have a high school friend that's watching us
Who is
on
it?
Facebook Live right now. Thomas Hale
Oh my God.
went to South Gwinnett with us.
No,
I don't know if you're still on,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Hi,
What's up,
By the
man?
way, you're so in FOX46 mode right now.
Okay.
Hey, let me give a shout out to a listener. It's Thomas Gwinnett.
Listen,
I'm back.
You're in my world now, buddy. It's podcast
No,
sleazy this
we
time.
never ask. We never check the
it's
questions.
hard to shut that
Yeah,
out.
oh yeah,
I love it.
that would be the polite thing, right? I'm
Ask
sorry.
Thomas if he has any questions. We should
Guys,
ask
we
questions.
have
Oh.
4
Yeah.
viewers.
Shut
Say
up.
hi to Jim in
It's a
Concord.
live stream during the 5 a.m.
Three of them are my mom because
Right.
she doesn't know how to get off the
Yeah,
other
he has
channel.
now the
You know what?
pictures.
From the sound of it, Kathy would have 3 burner accounts.
Oh my
Is anyone
God.
else sweating?
No, but all right.
They're not
So
hot.
Paige jumped to the end with the,
Yeah.
but I want to go back to the daughters, the blending.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
had like a blended and brewed video thing. I think maybe you do still have those videos. I think that was my first impression of you, and like sort of you talked through basically the same conversation we're having right now,
Yeah.
something similar.
Oh, I think I was like, you are going to love my new co-anchor.
Yeah.
Here.
Great beer choice, Legal Remedy, I think was one of them.
Yeah.
Then we did Creature Comfort in Athens, Georgia. That one was
That's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
my favorites.
A lot of Tropicalia has gone down
Yes.
the gullet.
Yes.
Um,
yes.
Daughters. The blending of the daughter, like what is that like? I mean, like right out of the gate, best buds?
Well, because they don't spend 24/7 together, they're pretty good friends, you know, so eventually they get sick of one another, but then they just trade sisters. Like, I mean, realistically,
Yeah.
that's what they do. Like, when one of them is aggravated with the other, then they just,
There's 4 of them.
yes,
so
they
can bounce
they
around.
literally just trade who they're playing with or who they're, you know, who they're interested in at the moment.
Well, and let me just jump in there because
sure.
people who aren't familiar with your situation.
Mhm.
So, Jason, your 2 daughters live most full time in Arkansas with your ex-wife, and your 2 daughters, Angie, live a week on, week off, kind of with you guys
Mhm.
here, right? You
Mhm.
live in the same neighborhood, similar neighborhood. So and then they're here for the summer though a lot. Jason's daughters are here for the summer,
Right.
where you try to have all 4 at your house, right, for
Yes.
as much of that time as
Yes.
possible. So we've had several blended families on the
Right.
podcast, and it's one of my favorite things to talk to them about is how they balance all that, and because everybody's recipe is different.
Yep.
I mean, everybody's recipe with whatever family is different, right? And Jake comes from a blended family too, and it's all and it changes from their ages too, because you go from having little itty bitties where you get to tell them where they go to having teenagers who have their own stuff to get back to
Right.
and get whatever. So what have you guys learned along the way throughout the process of things? Because I know you're both very intentional about things that you do to keep them close and to help them get to spend time together. You just came off a great family vacation.
Right.
What are some things that you guys have learned, like when you talk with other families, even maybe who have
First of all, so whether that's your faith or the way you want to raise your children, Jason and I are extremely aligned, even when we don't agree.
I was going to use
when-
that same word, yeah.
and vice versa. So we're very aligned. It's always like, how do you want to handle the situation? And so we go into it very much as a tag team on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a blended family or not, a lot of times we make decisions we're reactional based on what happened in that moment, and we're upset or we want to handle it, and you don't take that second to think about it or talk with your spouse about how are we going to deal with this. You just do. And so I was used to that in my previous relationship, and so I like that we take a second and go, how are we going to deal with that before, again, so that they can see that we're a team, and we tell them we're a team. Don't go to the other one because we're on the same page with this. But I think something that's interesting that we just have
12, no, let's see, Chloe would have been 13,
like
11, 10, and 5.
Okay.
yes,
Ish.
5 emotions. But something that we even realized not too long ago is biological parent.
Yeah.
I get
And
that.
so this is still a learning thing for us. And if you're a blended family, then you kind of know what this is like. Is if I'm disciplining Angie's girls, and I call them my girls, and that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
I call them all my girls. But when I discipline them, it's more difficult for them to take than me disciplining my own girls. And so
Vice versa.
and vice versa. And so they have been vocal about that to Angie, and my girls have been vocal about that to me. And so what we've tried to do is when we're all six together, if it's my daughter or if it's Angie's or whatever, I try to step back for a second and let her handle that because it's going to be received better. So so there's some of that you don't have to think about when they're your kids naturally. You just do it. And it is, so you have to strategize and you have to plan differently because even though you have the best intentions, it's going to be received totally different.
Yeah, and it's understandable.
Yeah.
Right, like if you put
There's
yourself in their shoes, you're kind of like,
They're thinking,
I get it.
you're not my parent. Okay, even though we love you, you're not my parent. And so it's very much, obviously, in the beginning, we would try to support the other one by being, okay, I got this one. But then we started realizing, like, okay, that is not working, okay? So instead, when one of them does something, we're like, I swear we look like we're on the baseball field, like, coming in for a huddle. Coming in for the huddle. And then Jason will handle, Chloe and Avery Claire, and I typically will now handle Shelby and Avery Cat. And this is just recent that we started figuring this part of it out.
Right.
Because, they'll go tell their other parent on you. So they go tell on you.
Yeah.
Yes. So then you're like, all right. But, we also level set a lot, so, if we're going somewhere, this is a great one. We're going into the Old Navy today. You each get $50. Don't ask for any more. Don't go to that parent and ask for more. Don't come. Okay, because what'll happen is when you're on a shopping spree.
Oh, like $50 in Old Navy. That's like
that's
an entire wardrobe.
Thank you. Okay,
Right?
They got 100 last time, and I swear to God, we had 18 bags of clothes.
That's
So,
97 pair of PJs.
exactly. Okay.
So many
Hey,
PJs.
$1 flip flops on Saturday.
Right?
Girls are just
He told me that the other day. I was like, what?
Yeah. So but what's interesting is more in that situation. The other kids will go to the other parents like, hey, go. Yeah, so they're smart. These kids are smart. They're very smart. So we have to constantly figure out how to not be outnumbered and outsmarted.
It's as wonderful as it is difficult.
Yep.
It is. It is. It's very.
Accordingly, you know what I mean? I mean, because we do that too, but it's a different, to kind of start from scratch again and kind of go back to the drawing board. How are we doing? I think that's something we could do better. We talk a lot about.
We're gonna do this now. What is it?
Hold on. The show just changed to
Yeah,
a therapy
yeah,
session.
Fill me in, coach. What are we doing?
So? I feel like both of us, you and I, very much agree, like philosophically, on the fact that we should always be on the same team. But we're both very like we'll in front of the kids, we'll look at each other and be like, same team. And one of us,
reactionary to what's going on.
So are you saying not to say same team?
No, I'm totally same team.
Right.
But it's the hard part about. I don't know if you guys face this. The hard part for. If I'm speaking for myself, I'm sure you too.
No, you're definitely for yourself right now.
It's when you don't actually agree with what the other one is trying to do.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yep, you cannot. Or like last night with June.
Quit
when
licking
June
your
got the
sister.
right. Dad said when June just came and snipped her popsicle.
Yeah.
And I said no dessert, and she goes, Dad, and you go, I just cut that for her. And I said, well, I just told her no dessert. And you know
So this is what I do. So this is what I do when we disagree. I go,
Yeah,
We do it too. We do. Like, huh? We go,
I
huh?
was like,
which
if you
one
want
of
them
ours
to
are we
hit you in
gonna
10
stick
years,
with?
listen, throw that popsicle in the trash.
See, but then that became a defining moment for June. And she's like, remember that time you opened the
And she threw the popsicle away and she goes,
I made her throw it away. Yeah.
I love you.
Literally just said opposite things and didn't know it.
Yes.
So which one are we gonna
Yes.
choose?
I think that's going to be with any.
I know,
no matter
it's
if
true,
you're
yeah.
blended or regular.
Yeah, agreed.
So.
Regular.
If you're blended or
Regular.
regular, you're going to.
So Paige Lucia, so my mom had full custody, so my parents split up when I was 2. So it's funny you talk about well, you're not my real mom, you're not my real dad. I never had that. Like I feel like I wanted to play that card early. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be here after the end of the summer.
I can't escape.
Right, but no, but I also remember scheduling, trips up to Chicago to see my dad. Loved those trips. They were 2-week trips. And I now talking to you guys and imagining what those trips are like as a parent. Because as a kid, all I remember is like, I went to 7 White Sox games,
Right.
got every baseball card I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so is it hard to do the like?
Yes.
I've got you for 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got you for
right,
3
yeah.
weeks. I feel like I want to like put the pedal on the floor and buy everything, do everything.
We definitely cram a lot of activity into those moments, and so there's times of the year where, because we get to see Shelby and Avery Cat a little bit more, we don't do as many special things, and so I catch myself sometime going, we only do special things when they're all 4 together, but yet we'll go to Little Rock once a month and do all kinds of special things, and I catch myself, because we do get the benefit of seeing the girls more often, that sometimes we don't carve out the special time that we should, so we have, I mean, we're constantly like, what do we do? Do we take a movie? What do we do with, you know, and being equal. I don't. It's not equal, but you try so hard to be
As much
equal.
as we tell them life's not fair, because you know they're always like, well, that's not fair. She got this and that. It's not fair, but at the same time, we try to be fair.
In the back of your mind, as a parent, you're trying to make it as fair as you
We
can.
are
Right.
spending
try.
to the dollar at Christmas to the penny. I mean, it's like, how much did you spend on that gift? I
My
mean,
parents
really.
did the same thing. Yeah.
You know, you and I have a similar background, because my father passed away when I was 6. Okay, so I also didn't grow up being able to go see the other parent. So, you know, despite living in, you know, sort of single parent type environment, you know, it was hard for either one of us to sort of relate to this situation, because it just wasn't widely in our history. I guess we're just figuring it out. I mean, we don't have the answers. We just figured this stuff
we
out.
all are.
I know my girls enjoy flying by themselves. They like it. They look forward to being here. That is the hardest thing on planet Earth.
Oh my gosh.
When I have to say goodbye to them at the airport.
Woo! I can't imagine.
I mean,
this last time was hard because their flight got canceled with all that American. So like, we get them for another night. You know, it was really.
Oh dear.
It was even more heart wrenching, because we were already saying goodbye, and then their flight got canceled. So we were grateful and sad all at the same time.
So that's definitely the hardest part about being divorced, when the kids aren't with you full time. God, when you have to say goodbye to them, woo, that's tough.
And I think the other thing, you know, this is always like the elephant in the room. When when you get divorced, there's obviously things you didn't agree with that previous relationship that really don't ever go away. And you have to learn to trust it, even though you don't want to. You have to trust the other parent in a way that you probably aren't comfortable doing. And so, you know, you've got that dynamic too, sort of working against you. And, you know, every time Jason and I, or their parents, Sean and Leslie, you know, every time anything has ever happened, we're always like, what's it have to do with the girls? Okay, let's put the girls at the center. And every time we've been able to solve a problem outside of our blended family, it's always because we say, what does it have to do with the children?
Yeah.
And if I was going to give anybody advice on moving forward, it's like, you got to let go of all that other stuff and just ask yourself this question every single time you're talking about your kids. What does it have to do with your kids?
It's not about you.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
We've talked about that before. And that's great. Again, like you said, that's great advice for any parents.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's just, can I just say too, I was telling Jason this the other day, and I texted you, I know after. I got to meet all 4 girls, 2 weeks ago?
Taste of
Taste of
They are so wonderful.
They really are.
They really are. All
What did you say?
4
You
of
said
them.
right out of the gate friendly.
That's what I.
Which
and-
it takes
that's
June
what
an
I
hour
told
and a
Jason.
half.
Yes.
And even then she's
She's
still
fine.
like.
She warms up. All
Jake
4 of
and
them.
Paige had another kid.
I know. Oh, forget it. But all 4 of
Hard
them were so engaging and
Yeah.
so dead on to what I had heard about them, and just sweet and fun and just personable, and like you guys are all of you two and your co-parents and everything. Something's going right, you know, because they're great, and it's
Look, all daughters are created equal. But who's the one with the crazy smile? One of them has the most ridiculous,
It's
not
got-
crazy,
no.
Crazy good. I'm just saying.
Oh,
one of
it's
them is
Avery.
just
I told you,
cute.
Avery just jumps out of you at a picture.
Oh
in
my
terms of
gosh,
just, like,
the smile
this
on
kid
the
just.
call.
Yes.
The littlest
Little
one?
Avery?
Yeah.
No, both
Yeah.
of them actually.
There's
They're just
glasses
little or
Avery
two.
and
I told you,
non-glasses. Glasses Avery when she
I think it's glasses Avery.
yes, she definitely, her teeth are like
it's
settling.
unfair because babies are baby. The
She
youngest
is
in
the
this group is always
cutest thing ever.
right.
I just want to chew her up like a watermelon Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah.
This
You're welcome.
podcast is sponsored
It's
by
brought to you by
Watermelon Sour Patch.
I
Paige
kind of
always
love
makes
and hate
fun.
you for bringing. Oh,
Paige always makes fun
it's
of
your boy.
well, Hop Trot from Noda.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
good call.
Paige
How
always
is
makes
it
fun of me
hot?
because I have like a throaty chew,
Oh God, you
like
do.
and I
Yes.
can hear myself eating it. What are you pointing at?
The Sour Patch Kids.
Oh gosh. And I can hear myself
Your crotch.
eating Sour Patch Kids.
Wow.
Go on.
They taste different different than the other Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's really hot in
I
here.
wasn't really thirsty, it just
I know.
feels really good on
Forehead
my
looks
forehead.
like it's been on the surface of the sun.
It's really hot. Wait,
That light is
since you're doing
right
that,
in your face.
What were we saying? What do I always do? I go?
No, Sour Patch Kids. I just
Oh,
thought so.
you're
You
two.
were talking
No, it's a bad
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Alright,
It's
so-
a bad show.
Okay.
You guys
Alright.
clearly have more. You guys got a lot going on. Blended family, traveling around. I get the whole thing. People talk about when couples fight, when they get in fights. It's about money. It's about other things.
Sleep.
Other things. Strip.
Yeah.
And you just mow down the punchline.
Oh, sorry.
God!
I know what you guys fight about.
You just drove a truck over the punchline.
It's about
I was shifting the conversation from like blended and brewed and Sour
That
Patch
was a
Kids.
really good setup. I really thought that
It was
It
happening.
was happening.
Building,
I'm
building,
so
building.
into it. Okay.
sorry. I couldn't
Sleep.
wait.
And
Paige
again,
is
now
like, get there already.
in post production, I'm gonna have to come
Start
over
over.
again. Like,
Start over.
buddy,
Sycamore.
buddy. Oh no, wrong. It's not money. It's sleep. It's post production skills. Anyway,
Sorry.
ours is about sleep.
Oh.
You work the same schedule. Can we please talk about?
Yes.
we
okay.
can
Why
look
don't
at each
you-
other.
Me and you.
why don't you two have a
I feel it.
conversation?
Okay, I feel
So
it.
how do you
Let's take a
guys?
nap while they talk.
How do you guys handle it? Like, what is your evening, and then evening. That's about it. Evening. I'm sorry. Evening and Sunday night look like.
Oh.
Oh, okay. See, I know that Jason. You know what? I know that Jason.
It's a throaty chew.
I know that he needs sleep. What's interesting is I feel you can jump in.
No, you're very good.
Don't say you're a great spouse. Like,
No, I am
table.
not a great spouse. I'm sometimes a great
Yes.
spouse, okay? Like everybody else on the planet. But I'll tell Jason to go to, I wasn't
Hell?
offending you at all, Paige. I'm
Oh.
making it, okay? Anyway.
I thought you were implying him.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I'll be like, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. So
Oh.
I'll tell him to go to bed. Granted,
What's
we're
that
only
like?
a year and a half into the
Okay,
schedule,
yeah. And your kids are older.
Yeah, Jason, but he doesn't want to miss.
It's
He doesn't
FOMO.
want to miss
It's FOMO.
anything.
Yes,
Like,
so
You know, it's different because when the girls are all together,
Gladly miss.
I'm happy to
Oh my
miss.
God.
I will
June's
miss.
first step. She's like, nope. Nope. Tell June I said, great
Great
work.
job.
get a girl.
I'll see you at 37th steps.
No, because he's got the fear of missing out.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes he doesn't go to bed on time, but usually I'm like, go to bed, I'll get it done. We're good.
Huh.
But see, this is the.
This is not the answer Jake was
So this is what
counting
I
on.
say. Stay up. We'll
Yeah.
not get it done.
Jason, I'll tell him he doesn't go to bed anyway.
Oh.
But there's
When
time.
you go to bed?
He does that
Never
sometimes.
before 10.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Good enough.
But
Correct
There's-
answer.
But see, here's the difference about a blended family. And because of all of the turmoil you go through with other parts of being a blended family, there's this occasion when they're all gone.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
It's like
So-
Olivia said, my old boss used to always say, the secret about divorce that nobody tells you that you actually, that's like the best part
Yes.
of divorce is free childcare
Yeah.
with people that you trust, because they're with
Yeah.
their other parent, and you get like the staycation that we're about to have coming up.
Good for you to tell, by the
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
Good
So
for us.
proceed.
But
Yeah.
that's where things are a little bit different.
Right.
So when you're over pressured about other parts of that relationship,
Yep.
there are times where it's quite like tonight. No kids. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I'm going to bed at 8:05.
I don't know.
At the flagpole.
We might run around naked tonight. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll see
yeah.
what happens.
Jason's
Close
like,
the
are you
blinds
done?
up.
You
Are we
will, to get your damn rings on your Apple Watch, you will run around.
That's a
Hang
true
on.
story.
Close
Okay.
your ring.
Can we come back to that later?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what we're arguing about
I better
lately.
check them right
Oh,
now.
Alright, so wait, so you
But
guys
look, see,
are.
the red one's almost closed.
Oh, stop.
You know what that
Sorry,
means?
I'm sorry. I
You
know.
gotta do to close it.
Brown chicken, brown. Oh, we're going a different place.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm still in the question. That's what happened at the flagpole.
Yeah, in 7th grade.
Public displays of.
Okay, where were we?
I don't know.
No, so the kids aren't home. Yeah, so.
Yes.
Alright, then you are far more gracious and understanding and warm.
We're still
spouse.
newlyweds.
Then
She is, but I think her point was, and you do make a good one, is that she's able to do that because they get some more breaks built
Yes.
in
Yeah.
from that. Is that what you meant?
Do you nap in the middle of the day, Jason?
Totally.
Okay.
Never long, in her eyes, never long enough.
I was gonna say he doesn't take naps.
Oh my gosh, you're way better than I am.
Yeah.
Not
I'm at work. I'm at
Yeah,
work.
so she's
but-
at work, so she doesn't get home until 5 or 6, and she's like, you better take a 3-hour nap and not even set your alarm so that you can stay up with
You
me
get
later
text from
tonight.
Jason at 4:59, like, hey, what time are you coming home?
I don't don't do that. I don't.
Are things wrapping up there at the mortgage company?
What's your ETA? Just curious.
You almost done there?
But see, y'all still have little kids. Okay, your kids are little and tight together.
But I'm able to take a breath now. I do remember when he was, I don't know what your situation was at work, but I kind of was back and forth when we had our kids from, I got laid off when I had a 6-week-old with our first. I know. But I don't want to go back to work anyway, so I was kind of thankful, but also at the same time kind of like, are you legally allowed to do this? They were.
Right?
Yeah. But, and then anyway, back and forth, and I do, when we had itty bitties, I would sit on the porch like
when are you going to
when is this? Yeah, when, like, and when he would come home and I'd be like, I remember at one point, I remember one day.
Threw a child.
No, I didn't.
I'm glad you're talking
There was no handing. There was no handing.
I wasn't yet pregnant with Cal, or I had Cal. Cal and Ford are only 15 months apart.
Right.
I think I maybe had Cal too, and Cal always had an ear infection. He was enormous, and all he did was cry because his ears always were infected.
Always had.
And Ford was
still
just
are.
like, I know, you're right. And Ford, anyway, I remember you walking in like. Going in her closet.
Yeah.
And just sitting on the floor, and I was like,
That's
so,
parenthood.
And I could hear them wailing, and I was like, I don't care, just leave me alone.
And I'm like, cool, because I also had it this morning.
No, because he didn't at that point. That's the bad.
Oh, that's right, because you were unemployed.
Yeah.
We've told this on the podcast before, but for our new listeners, what's your friend from high school's name again?
Jim.
Thomas.
It was Thomas.
Thomas from high school. You'll listen.
We have a
to
couple.
Thomas.
We have a couple.
Oh, yay. Thomas, another friend from high
Sorry,
school.
totally not. I feel like
Thomas from Snellville.
Yeah. Hey, it's a happening place now. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. So Thomas,
you're probably an Apple.
Thomas and Joey.
I'm not sure.
Joey
McMiniman.
McMiniman is on there too.
Oh,
I
McMiniman.
love
Okay.
Joey
Alright.
McMiniman too.
Oh, J-Mix?
Yeah, that's a good one. I wish I had thought about that.
Go ahead.
That's cool.
Okay.
Anyway,
I was a
some
terrible
of these people
spouse. Go ahead,
we've known,
finish
I've
that.
known since kindergarten. Like, that's how long the friend circle goes back.
Oh, that's so
It's
fun.
pretty
And I
cool.
bet they're learning stuff about you tonight.
Yeah.
They never knew
Maybe.
you were a
I was
flexible.
a very like focused athlete.
Oh.
Anyway, proceed.
Oh.
Whoa.
They're learning. Saying now.
No, talking about
The dynamic of how this job changed things. So we went from that, me going, these kids are driving me insane.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
lose my mind. I hate this. They're horrible. It's what. And him going, what's the big deal? Like, well, deal with it. You're fine. Then I got this job on this schedule,
Yeah.
and he then was alone. What? You know, a little swamp.
I had some A sweat going on. I had to sit up and
You don't want to have it. You don't want to know what is happening on my side.
these are hot chairs.
Puddling.
It's the hottest podcast room in the world.
It's the puddle in my chair.
It's a very
You
bright
saw the
light.
story. This story
So
has
then I
turned into
went,
like
okay,
Brian
so then I
Williams
went,
over
I
here.
am focused on you, babe.
I know, I love you. I can tell you're like, come on, girl, I got you. Throw a water bottle sour patch at you. So I then went to getting this job on this schedule in Raleigh, and I went from doing that to him and complaining and him going, what's the big deal? To then me coming home from work and him going, oh my God, you're right, they're horrible. This is horrible. And I went, you're right. So then we bonded over, you know what I mean? It's like, we were like, oh yeah, we're this, like, us against them.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
what
the
happens is,
And then-
if you're not put in the situation as the other parent ever, you don't
don't
really
know.
get it until
You don't know.
yes,
It's
until the
true.
roles
Until you
over.
have kids, same thing, you're like, what's the big deal? They're kids. And then you have them and you're like, they're horrible.
So her first job on
Suck
TV,
your whole
which you'll
life away.
appreciate this, you both will. You'll appreciate this. Her first TV job was, I forget that guy's name.
What was that
He
guy?
was
I don't remember.
he was like 15 years ahead of where we are now.
Oh, Barry Leffler.
Hyper local,
Yes. Oh, I love him.
hyper
He's the one who
local
laid me off,
digital first TV.
Yeah.
She was an anchor, so
Big
she'd
business.
shoot like in today's news in Raleigh, cut. In today's news in Fuquay Arena, cut. In today, and
It was
like
all user generated. They would send
Oh,
stuff
only
in.
user
Oh, wow.
generated. Oh, like this was 2007.
Major vision.
Way ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he was like laughed out of the studio. It was like the whole thing. It was like this was not a
visionary.
good. Yeah,
He was.
Truly, he was.
Truly he was. It like it lost him his job eventually because it didn't work,
Oh,
quote
right,
unquote. But you know
right.
what I mean? It was one of
Yeah.
those like
And
he was
she
way
went
ahead of
in.
his time.
She went in for this show 9 to 5. Second job was My Carolina Today.
Also
9
in Raleigh?
Also in Raleigh.
Yeah,
9 to
also
5. So here I
No,
am.
it was like hours. My EP would come to our
Point-
house and
point
watch
is-
the kids.
point is, middle of the
Oh my
day.
God.
It was middle of the day. And I'm like, this is life with TV. This is a piece of cake. Like we're gonna be fine.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, congrats, we want to put you in the morning show. And I'm like, cool. And she's like, I don't think this is sunk in yet that we've got 2 kids in diapers, and I'm never going to be here in the morning. So now we are, what, 8 years later, 9 years later with that schedule?
Yeah.
It's,
it's a rough one.
Yeah. But so,
Hey, did you find where June's swimsuit
I'll
was?
come babysit for
Oh,
you.
sorry.
Jake, I'll come babysit for you. I mean,
You
I might
had
be
it.
at work already.
That's
but
the
I
other
still
thing.
come over.
You're on it.
Okay.
does Jason help pack book bags before he goes to bed?
No, let's talk about this. We talked about this on the desk the other day.
Here we go.
No, we talked about this on the
This
desk.
Oh,
is
God.
like where the
Oh, God.
train is gonna
Oh.
really
And by the way,
go off.
I'm the guy driving the train, happily going off the rails.
Can I make my point?
Can we split the podcast here?
Oh God.
You go. No,
it's
you
over now.
tell your part, because Angie, I'll be curious, because I already went through this with Jason and made him
Okay.
weigh in on, but it wasn't,
I'm paying attention.
because I think I make a good point. So you make
I'm
your
listening.
point.
Self-proclaimed good point. Go ahead. Let me hear your. Hold on 1 second. Listen to this great point.
I want you to go first. You tell what you think, how you think it should play out. You
What,
say
at
yourself
night?
home.
At night? At night?
Is
What
this
is-
like the routine?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
At night. This is
And I'm
what
curious
happens.
how you guys do it too.
This is
because
what
I think
happens.
You do it all.
This is what happens.
Sorry, no offense.
Mhm.
Love you, but
No, she doesn't.
Jake,
I mean, if I'm out of town 8 states away.
this is a really short story. I don't know what's going to be told. But this is
No,
how.
no,
No, this is how it goes. She goes, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going good night, I'm in bed. That's the end of the story. There's nothing else in the story.
Great conversation.
And I'm like, babe, there were like 47 emails from Miss Chandra tonight.
Is that the teacher?
Yeah.
I'm like, Miss Chandra put like a riddle in the email.
Okay.
So how do you counter that? That was a really short story.
Two things.
Oh, I'm sweating.
First of
I
all,
am
So
too.
sweaty.
women sleep different than men. It's
Uh-huh.
more important to us. I don't know why.
What does that mean?
What?
It means
I don't
we,
know what that means,
yes,
but I
it
like
does. Okay, because I get just as much sleep in the day as he does. His is just broken up. For some reason, women do a little better if they get it all one increment.
Oh.
Just saying.
Okay, see?
Oh, you got a real
You should
problem
go to
there.
bed early
Then you should
anyway.
just stick with 3
So let
hours
me-
once
let
and
me jump in.
bail.
Let me jump in. 2 things to that. A,
Mhm.
and I forget what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. A,
A.
I can't, when I get to a point at night that I'm tired enough to fall asleep,
Mhm.
I need to go and make myself fall asleep right then.
Oh.
Because if I engage and if we get into an
Oh.
argument
Yeah.
and my
Why do you start with argument? Why not?
Or-
How was your day?
Argument really in this conversation means love. Just so we're clear. Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if there's anything that takes me beyond the point of I'm so tired, I just put the kids to bed, I was about to fall asleep with them, but I could make it to my own bed.
Mhm.
Beyond that, I can't engage because if my body wakes up anymore, I won't be able to fall asleep, and then I'm screwed on
Yeah.
air tomorrow morning. So there's that. That's why sometimes I'm
Situational
just
sleeping patterns.
yes.
Just
Sometimes I'm just in the like I can't engage with you right now. I need to just go to bed. But
I'm
my
just going to put all over this your mouth. You would already hear it. I love you. I should sleep last.
Sycamore.
You're the best husband in the world.
You're the best husband. After I work in the morning, I'm going to come home and clean and cook and
my
everything.
bigger point there, I hate you. My bigger
I love
point
you,
there.
baby. I love you.
Okay, let me make out. My bigger point there is your shift, my shift, right?
Mhm.
So I handle everything from basically the morning on in terms of like running point on stuff. Stop. What are you making?
Oh.
You
You know
know.
my page right
Yeah.
up here. Okay, I got you.
So his thing, well, he'll go. Okay, if it's June's swim day tomorrow and Ford has has to wear Elon Park.
Yes.
Whatever.
What was
You
that, a
should
gown?
lay
A Neil
you
Clark
should-
gown?
You should lay that all out for me and have it ready, and I need you to get that out. And my thing is, I cook dinner for them every night and pick them up from school. I don't ask you to fill my car up with gas so I can pick them up, or do the grocery list, or get dinner ready, because that's my shift.
Did you get that, Harper? Okay.
Hey, this is
So
a
I said that to
conversation.
him,
This is about these
And he
two.
goes, oh, Angie, I try to offer to help with dinner, and Angie says, I got it. And I go, she cooks dinner too on your shift. I said, you got it made.
I sit in
But isn't
7
that
board
true?
meetings every day.
Oh God, here we
I have
go.
to deal with important matters and mortgages. When I get home, I
Changing lives, Jake.
don't have time
Changing lives.
to clean an upper lip. I want my newspaper and
My
my
office
meatloaf.
is made of mahogany.
You know I work in retail, right? That's the best forward-facing customer engagement you can have. Then
Our
you can do it
industry
at home.
sunk the economy, and I'm trying to prevent it again.
Thank you for turning our
You know
nation's
what?
economy around,
You're
Jake.
welcome.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Right?
We did it
You're
with
welcome.
we did
He
it with
says that. He does
a
give me
gang
major
of
props.
t-shirts.
I actually
He
believe
gives you
you.
major props. He does. And I give you major props.
Thank you.
Everybody
At
just
least
figured
twice
out what
an
it
hour
was for them.
today, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, there's no question it's difficult because our jobs that we have, Paige and I'm talking about here, it affects.
Always be second.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it does.
We'll always be
When you take a job like this, it affects our spouses because they have to get them ready for school. They have to get them on the bus. They have to, and then they still have to get themselves ready for work. And so
And deal with us being tired all the time.
Right, we don't have to deal with that. And I do. I actually do carry a lot of guilt like that, and that's probably. It's a tough balance. I mean, it really is.
It really is. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
God bless you guys.
I meant for
You know what?
We sing like Kumbaya now.
Speaking of, I mean,
No,
like we got to get up in
but no,
6
I don't
hours.
know if you got any real
it is
content.
like, they won't know. It is 8:03 on Thursday evening.
Jason said he wanted to be asleep by 8:05.
So here's what
How many times we do this?
Not gonna happen.
Do you?
I know.
So you guys are. The Fox boss is like, interesting. Let's look at Friday
I
ratings.
tried to even talk Jason. I'm like, we're already uptown. We should go out to eat. And he's like, well, since it's Thursday, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what
seriously.
I
We
know.
totally do.
I know. I
But
get anxiety.
it does. It makes it more difficult in your evenings during the
Yes.
week because the longer you're trying to have fun with friends or other couples,
Mm-hmm.
all I'm thinking about is I'm taking another hour off. I'm only.
So we're nearing the end, and at the end we play a fun game. So we're gonna get to that in a second. But your bosses, I feel like, would kill us. We just went an hour and did not talk Fox at all.
Oh,
So
Oh, yeah,
I want to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
Fox for a second. I'll
We just
start.
said, well, I
Getting
didn't
results
call
how to
it.
catch a criminal.
I said WJZY at least once.
Yeah, I will
See,
start.
these
I want to start by giving
bears and
Jason.
books.
Badges.
Jay, bring him back in.
Sorry,
you
what?
two, you two bring it back in.
sorry.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so just so you guys know, if you listen to any of our podcasts,
We're getting
here's what
wrapped.
happens.
We're getting wrapped
We
by our
go
own spouses.
off the rails, and I'm the rail bringer back around.
Are you guys pretending to be our producers right now?
Listen. But no, but in all seriousness, that's what I'm
Used to get
trying to
yelled at.
do.
Yes.
Jason, I want to give you a shout out
Okay.
because it has been quite the roller coaster. We talked about this the first night we all actually went out together, but I'll
Well,
talk.
we didn't
for-
know if you would last
Just
either
like-
at that point.
No,
So.
you're
Great point, actually.
Yeah.
I told them we were being interviewed at that dinner, by the way. I'm just saying. I was like, they wanted to make sure you were going to make it.
She
Anyway.
had a co-anchor for a year, and then went through a carousel for a while.
It's a long time.
And man, it has.
You
I'm
guys are
excited.
awesome.
I'm pumped about it because frankly, we joke about home life, like that makes home life better. So for sure.
I was going to say, there's
No.
nothing better than when
See,
you know
once
your
in a while,
spouse.
Puts one in there, right, Paige?
Right?
Yeah, there's nothing. Wait, what was that? Are we back to the sex talk?
You know, you knew what I meant. Boys, why are boys boys?
But I also knew that the boys were both thinking the exact same thing.
Sycamore.
Once in a while, he throws one in there.
Good job, baby. I love you, baby love. That was a good one.
Whoa! I almost lost a little sycamore.
That was
Sweet
good.
comment about his lovely wife. Okay.
What I was saying was,
More about Jason. But
it feels really good knowing that your spouse is in a really healthy working environment. And,
Yeah.
you
Oh my
know,
God, I'm so glad.
with
Paige
your
is
with
there.
your work husband or your work spouse or whatever it is. I mean, it is.
No, I agree.
It feels good.
Yeah.
but I mean, Nick and Chuck are kind of weird.
They're not. They're awesome. I
Can we
love
talk about
Nick
that
and
for a
Chuck.
second?
I think we should.
Listen, we're out of
I think we should
time.
address that.
No,
I think we should
I'm tired
address
of
that.
seeing
Next
shirtless
time.
pictures
We need
of
to.
Nick on
There's
Instagram.
but
Oh
they
my
should-
God.
But in all seriousness, like just real quick, how has the last year been? I mean, you guys feel like you are
You go
full
first
head of
because I
steam?
can say anything.
Yeah.
You go first.
It's been awesome. I've never, gosh, it's been a long time since I moved to a new city. And so it's been strange for me, a little overwhelming, not knowing any.
Oh my
Ciao.
gosh.
However,
Ciao, Bella.
that's their friends from they're Angie's
Yes.
friends in the neighborhood that have sort of adopted Jason in the years. I know.
That's years, and so here I am, not even. Oh, well, I'm right at like 2 years now, and so her friends are becoming, they're my friends,
Yeah.
and so I didn't know anyone when I came here. It's kind of scary, but God, I love it here. I really do. About prescription deodorant and who sweated worst.
Oh,
I don't know if
gosh.
you remember that. That was our very first conversation.
Not surprising at all.
And I'm telling you, and after
Your prescription.
oh my gosh, like I sort of want to touch it, although that feels
I
weird.
kind of did
Thank
too.
you,
I totally did too.
2006 shredded raised t-shirt.
Paige, I almost want you to be like, look.
So I knew, even though I didn't know anyone, I knew that I. True.
Oh, yes, let's
Listen.
get
I love me
real.
some
Let's
Chuck
get
Rose.
real.
Listen, I
Thanks,
love me.
yes.
I did. I love me some Chuck
He
Rose.
makes you up. Chuck is June.
I
Chuck
didn't.
is the June.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, good.
I didn't.
It's okay.
I didn't know when to say something to him, how to say it, and it did. It took a while, and then finally when
And it's there now, and I know, and one of us is probably gonna like get fired or like
No,
say
you're
something
not.
inappropriate on
No.
social media.
No.
And
no,
leave someone
listen,
soon,
Chuck
but
Chuck
for now,
Chuck
it's
Chuck
great.
has gone
great.
through a lot of
It's
very
great.
similar stuff that I've gone through.
Yes.
And that's put us in a category together where
Yeah.
we can relate with what
Yeah.
with what we're going through and still are going through, and so
Well, that's tough.
yeah.
I mean, you guys were OGs, the three of you guys.
I know, and
From the
you were the new
beginning.
kid,
Yeah.
and like I
That's
had to
true.
like you. I really wanted to like you because
Yeah.
you're my the
I'm
two of us
telling
are like.
you.
Yep.
And
Thank God
thank
for
God I
Paige.
did. Oh,
I
well,
mean, thank God. Listen,
No,
thank
thank God
God
for
they
him
have
too.
each other.
Thank God
I'm
for
just
Jake.
saying.
You said Jake or did you say-
No, I mean,
No,
thank
for
God
me.
for you and I.
exactly.
That they have me.
Let's be honest.
Now that everyone is
No,
nice
but like,
and sweaty.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
put a bow on it real quick. So what I tell people is I say give it a week.
Yes.
I'm still
Oh, I
convinced.
love
Who's
you.
listening? Or who's your marketing guy? Council.
Council?
I keep council.
I love council.
This is an idea for you, buddy.
Oh,
Okay.
I
that's
say
great.
give it 5 days or give it a week.
Mhm.
Give it a week, and that is you should
In
just
other
put
words,
that
few
on the
words.
side of every bus, on in all the trains.
I like that
You
idea.
put
I
every,
do
you say
too.
your slogan on every billboard is give it a week. Give
Yeah.
us a week,
Yeah.
whatever it is, because I
That's
think
a
that
good one,
people.
Jake.
That is
Well,
good.
I
Other than
guarantee
what-
they will want to keep on.
Because so
yeah.
much of it, because it's torn. You're torn because like eyeballs now are all digital, so
Yes.
or
Yes.
going digital.
Yep.
And that's why you guys are getting pushed for social content, which is yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if like you catch it for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes in like a firestone while your oil's getting changed, that's when you're like, oh dang,
They're
this
pretty darn
is
funny.
But,
They're
but
fun to
also
watch.
like
And we actually, you can tell we all really actually like each other.
completely
yeah,
different
and have
from
fun
anything
together.
else on TV.
No.
I'm telling you,
That's
I've
great.
said it to you a million times.
I
Give it a
know.
week.
I love, that's a great
That's
idea.
a-
That's a
Seriously.
great idea.
Okay, Jake,
Yeah.
I'm glad you finally
Yeah.
gave a good little
Finally.
plug there.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yes.
Stop
yes.
sleeping so much. God.
That's a
All
great
right.
idea.
Now you're forgiven for.
Here we
Jason
go.
show up ever.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys
All
want
right.
to play catchphrase?
Let's
Let's
do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh gosh, I haven't done
We're a
this in a
team.
while.
Okay.
Listen, I got
girls and
stories
boys.
about this game. Got it. Me and Paige are a
Angie,
team.
I feel like we're like.
I think
Okay,
we're gonna
remind
be
me.
aligned. Okay,
Hang on,
now
remind
listen.
me. You can't say what's on there?
Correct.
Okay.
You cannot say the word that's on here, but you and we're a little more lenient here than we would be.
you're not.
No, in other words, you can like if you say like if you're desperate.
Do
you
an
need to say
example
rhymes
for
with-
Jason that works.
All right. If I'm saying where if the
Why do we need remedial
It
lessons for
appears-
me?
It appears Jason knows the
beverage
rules.
we've been drinking throughout
Beer.
the podcast. It comes in cans.
Beer.
If it says beer, yeah.
Okay.
I think we need to give
I
no
will never,
shout
no,
out.
but I will
We're
never
also
say
doing
I've
that.
said
something
no
worth
to
saying
lunch,
now. I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Okay.
No dog.
We're
I'll
checking
never
what's
say
on
it.
the note.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna keep saying.
Hold
Tell
on.
him when to say
Okay.
when.
Say
Tell
when.
say when.
Okay. Wait. Stand by.
Say when.
Come on.
Say when.
J Harps, say when, because I'm gonna give the first quote to your wife.
When?
Ooh. Sports and games.
Oh, it's
Oh,
right. Good night.
we got this.
Good night.
See you guys.
Okay.
It's not. I didn't say music and dance hands.
Oh my god.
Jazz-
they're
hands.
they're jazz hands,
First
excuse me?
one is jazz hands. Okay.
Dance hands?
Okay, sports. Shoot.
Okay. So the deal is, after your partner guesses, you hit next. The big blue bottom at the bottom.
So then you'll hand it to Jake or Jason.
Correct. No, I hand it to
Roadie.
And then I do it and then I hand it to
Correct.
him. Got
And
it.
if your partner guesses it, it's.
I haven't played this game in like 8 years.
I got you.
Got it.
I
We
play
got
it a lot.
Okay.
So.
Dance
Clearly.
hands? So we actually do
Clearly.
play a lot. Like,
Okay,
Oh my
this
God.
is. Oh no, it's not this team.
Are we doing it right
Yes,
now?
Yeah, go.
yes.
Baseball.
Baseball, yes.
Okay.
And it's the Windy City.
Chicago
Not
Cubs.
not that one.
A different Windy City?
No,
Seattle.
the other
Chicago,
team in Chicago.
Chicago Sox.
Yep.
Okay.
What? No!
Oh, nope.
Not black, but
White Sox.
You do this big baggy jeans and like inline version of this and a board.
Skating, Tony
strong. Yeah,
That's
that's the first
skateboarding.
one. Where do they go to do it?
Skate park. Oh, skating fast.
Okay, ice.
skating.
No, it's another thing that falls from the sky. That's
Snow,
in winter. That's
Snow
the first
skiing.
one, and I've got these on my feet.
Flip flop, snow flop, snow ski.
Snowflop.
Close. Yeah, women love this in their closet. They got like 80 pairs.
Snow heels.
Another name for heel.
Snowshoes.
Yep.
Oh,
Can we
come
go
on.
back to snowflop?
Come on, Jason.
Okay, you work out in a.
You press stop. You press stop.
No, we didn't.
No, I hit next.
It went off.
It
No,
was like
we didn't. That's point girl.
Okay,
You
let's
work
keep going.
out in a
Again,
push-up room?
again.
What was that?
First of all, Jason doesn't always work out.
Hang on.
Just saying.
I still
Don't
can't
try.
get past snowflop.
Snow flops.
I've got so many stories
By the way, if
about
you went
my
to
previous
let's watch
past
this
life.
snow.
Will you please market
I got
this?
stuff right now.
Hashtag snow.
Okay.
Hey, we got the
Paige
point.
Fleming
What,
and
do I just hit the button again and
Snow
go?
You
flop.
hit
Start. Now you
Start.
start.
Stop.
Start.
Oh, okay.
Start.
Okay, you go in a something blind with a shotgun. What are you doing?
What?
It's a flying. No, it's a water.
Well
Even
done.
though it's a horse with sticks and
Polo.
Huh? Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco play for them at the same time.
The A's. Oakland
The
A's.
whole thing.
Oakland A's.
Whole
Oakland
thing.
Athletics.
Oh, it's good enough. Go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're Rulesy
Stalled.
Jones.
Okay, not second, but before that.
First base.
Not up, but
Down. First down.
next. Hit next.
3 strikes.
You're out.
Got it.
Woo!
There's been cases of this where people have been shooting at cars around town. You're not gonna know that. You would.
A's.
Drive-by. The drive-by
No, you
shooting.
use it in a rifle, but it's stuff that you do on the walls like this.
Like you do what? What was the answer?
Paintball.
Ah!
There's been cases of. Just saying. Oh my god.
Why
Man
did you
down.
say?
Okay,
Why
I
did
understand.
you
Well, no,
say
I might have seen
A's?
someone's falling cast right now.
Why did you say AIDS?
We lost a little ground where it was like, you're not going to know what you like. I didn't know what to say.
1980s.
I know, sorry.
That's
Because
okay.
there's been cases around town of people paintballing, like, and we report on it.
Okay,
It's a
listen,
long
Paige, next time you get
pause.
paid, I'll just be like, agreeable gray, rose violet.
Oh,
paints.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
There was a long pause too. It was like drive-by, guns, cases of these AIDS.
Why did you say
Jason Harper.
cases? I'm like a
That's
Jake's,
Jake's
that's Jake's like go-to like joke disease.
I actually almost
What
said AIDS.
is
Are you
that?
serious?
Yes, and you said AIDS. I would have guessed AIDS. If you were doing that, I would have guessed AIDS.
Have I ever said that in a conversation? No. I don't know where that
All
came
right.
from. Oh my gosh.
It's a horrible disease.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Paintball
Here we go.
drive-bys.
This is a term used if you are surfing.
Hang ten.
No, and you want to
Nice.
blank.
Hey, a ripper, bro.
No. I'm doing this right
Wave?
now. Yep, that's the last word. And you do this on a motorcycle or a car.
Oh, come on.
Ride,
Uh-huh.
drive,
And then
wave.
there's a little word in the beginning.
Oh, are you
Drive
joking?
with-
Wow.
No, the first one, the other one we said.
Oh wow.
Encyclopedia Brown. Oh, I'll stall on this one. Oh, when you do X's and O's in a grid-like fashion.
Tick, tick, tick.
That was supposed to be
You're
milked a
supposed
little
to hit
bit.
next.
Oh,
Oh
I
sorry.
did.
okay. Duck
Duck
season.
goose. Duck hunting season.
Okay, but it's a driver's. Drivers.
License.
Okay, so
Hunting license.
yep.
Oh, damn it.
Oh no. Okay, when you go to a fall fest.
Girls, 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 girls,
Who runs the world?
Girls. Oh. Who has the sweatiest ears in all of Charlotte? Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say all of us, but it's
Jason.
Jason. Guys, this was awesome.
It was.
Yeah, oh, I had a
Thank you for
freaking
having
blast.
I can't wait to do this again.
me. I don't think we're gonna be invited again, but it's
So
okay.
fun. Thank you guys for coming. This was
Thanks for having us.
This is just a fun
This is a
idea.
special one, I know.
Yeah, this was a special
I'll
one.
see you in like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Bye.
I'll be there to watch your kids in the morning.
Okay, perfect. Seriously, guys,
Oh my
thank you.
gosh.
This is awesome.
No,
Thanks
thanks for having us.
Thanks for inviting us. Yeah, we've been looking forward to this.
We had a good time.
By the way, another argument on the way here. I told her about this today.
Yeah. Okay, no. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry,
I'm
we're out of
sorry.
time. We're out of time.
No, we
We're out of
got
time.
to for 1 second.
Oh.
My alarm goes off. I text him my happy kissy face like, oh, I'm awake.
See you soon.
And it was, hey, we're doing this thing with Paige and Jake tonight. We're doing date night. I'm like, I've been awake for a minute and a half. Can you give me a second
I
to
think
come
we're out of
to?
time. Why did I bring this up?
Oh my gosh.
That's
Hey guys,
perfect.
thank you so much for coming on. Even though you didn't know
Thanks,
that
guys.
an hour and a half
Thanks
ago.
for showing up anyway.
Bye.
Worth it. Bye. Oh my god. That's a true story.
I almost texted
That's a
her,
true story.
aside from just checking with you, because I was like, have you told your wife about this at
No,
all?
I can seriously squeeze this out in bottles.
It's
That's
so,
okay.
I know.